Hey Anonymai, welcome to another uh, coin roll hunting episode. I found a couple of, as you may have saw in the coin show video that we did previously, got into some older wrapped bank rolls here, and found a 59D, and this one is not, this one is not one labeled by the bank. The other one that I bought, the 68, is. I don't know what kind of wrapper this is, but it's just the older craft paper. I don't know if a bank used this or if a person rolled this themselves many years ago, but I'm going to crack into this and see what I can find. I don't typically search varieties, but the 59D is kind of notorious for repunched mint marks, several varieties. One of them I think is like a D over D over D, like a triple punch. So let's take a look at the rims, see what we're dealing with. Okay, that's pretty glittery. That's hopeful. Not do this right on the mat because we're about ready to use it. Pull a few of these coins out. Take a little look. Well, I must say, those are some pretty good looking coins. I don't think I'm into any kind of like MS67 type quality, but as I said, this is a year in mint mark that you do want to look for varieties. But gosh, this one right here sure is nice. I don't know. Maybe we'll have an MS66 somewhere in here, but wish me luck. Gonna see how this plays out. Here's the ender. That's pretty cool. Let me see if I can get it to focus. There it is. You can see the toning along the edges. So I'll put that right here. But anyway, I'll let you guys know how this goes. I'll go through it, look for any of those RPMs, any really high grades, and let you know what I find. I'm a little more optimistic than when I originally had the roll, so I'll talk to you in a minute. So this graded out pretty well, as you can see. There were a few 63s here. One of them had a fingerprint kind of from the middle, which makes me lean toward this being an older wrapped roll. I don't know if it was by a bank, maybe somebody did it by hand, or if somebody bought an old bank wrapped roll and then loaded it into this paper roll. I'm not sure. They'd been wrapped for a long time, and as you saw from the edges, they were very consistent. So I think it's an original roll that stayed together. Anyway, there were a lot of really pretty coins. The strikes were very nice, and I'll just show you the nicest one. You can see here has some pretty killer luster. Couple of little nicks out in the field, but not much to speak of. I don't think it's a 67. I think it's a 66. You can see one thing I look for in these years when I'm looking for a good strike. One of the first things of a bad strike, if something's a particularly bad strike, you'll see softness in the hair behind the ear, kind of upper neck behind the ear on Lincoln. There is texture here though, so that this makes it kind of a moderate strike. This is not a crisp, amazing one, but it's pretty darn good. 59D are known for being a little bit better strike before they start to fade into the 60s, but this is a good looking coin. It's got good luster, decent strike, not a lot of chatter, so it's the nicest one on the roll. There were a few 66s that hung right there with it. A few of these coins, actually more than a few of these coins, exhibited a very light roller mark. It's where a little bit of grease from one of the rollers on the minting machines kind of just leave a stripe down the middle. It doesn't make it not red, it just changes it to a different color of red, and it's usually not attractive when you see that, so it's not a plus. It's usually a minus. A lot of these I felt would have been 66s if they weren't for just this really gentle bit of roller marking going on. Now, I have not searched this for a variety of any kind yet, but I'm going to do that. and I'll let you know how that turns out. So wish me a little bit of luck. We're going to go look really close under the microscope for some mint marks. Talk to you in a little bit about that. Okay guys, so I did go through that roll with the high zoom, high resolution camera. There were some repunched mint marks. I'm not really that into the varieties. It wasn't the big fancy D over D over D, or there was even one out there that was 4 Ds, one over another. There might have been a couple that were some very basic repunch mint marks where they weren't even split serifs if you are into that sort of kind of thing. Just the up and down stroke on the D. Some of them were extra fat. You could tell they were an RPM. Anyway, I'm happy to put this in a tube. This was a nice roll. It's going to be hard to trip over a roll at a coin shop that's a little bit nicer than this. So I'm very excited to have this in my collection. I do not plan on selling it or flipping it. But anyway, give me a thumbs up, guys. Stick with us. I will see you in the next video. I believe the next video will end up being a hunt of this 1968S. I'm not aware of any varieties or anything in this, but this is something you're looking for a good grade on, and we will talk about that in the next video. So leave a comment down below, and I will see you in the next video. Happy hunting.